What's up, folks? Welcome back. We haven't had a episode or a podcast in a little while, but it's your boy Christian King Taylor, aka Third Eye Vibes. And I'm here with Mr. Frank Burrell. Burrell.
That's all good. Look,
But if you can introduce yourself.
how y'all doing? What up? Frank Burrell, as he said, Mohammed in the flesh, St. Louis, Missouri, as they would call it. You know what I mean? Honored to be here once again. Thankful.
It's funny, just when you said Missouri, it's funny. I remember growing up, everybody would always just say like misery.
Misery or
Misery,
Missouri.
yeah, something like that.
Missouri or misery. And then I used to be like, dog, I don't see no Z's in the word at all.
Exactly, but it all derives from other shit. You know,
if you notice, I did say so-called, what they call St. Louis,
exactly.
Missouri.
And when it comes down to it, and I'm happy we're having this because I'm about to move back to Los Angeles from St. Louis, but I would love to, and I don't even know if you have this information, but I would love to dive into you with just specifically some of the history of St. Louis from what you know for as far back as you can think.
I mean, honestly, the farthest back I can think is the first civilization that we had. Once you go beyond the maps and leave the maps out of it, you know what I'm saying, and just look at the land as a whole. Land is land. The pyramids that we have built in the area that they call Cahokia, Illinois.
Cahokia Mounds.
You get my drift?
Yep.
Connected right over here.
To the Mississippi River.
Bingo.
Exactly, which is the now of.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Now, I like that you said now, right? They encoded
Us, I already know, because that's what we are supposed to know where it comes from, but in actuality, it's where everything started.
Yeah, no,
everything.
look, there's an inner body inside of us that we understood. Like there was a reason why we built those pyramids right where they say the Cahokia Mounds are, which is right by where they say the Nile is. There's a reason why we also built the pyramids over in where they say Egypt, where the Nile is too. The same exact type of kinds, and also in Asia. Now, when you look at this body, when you say the Nile, notice it's just that long line, right?
Yep.
Your spine got two canals. Really has three. It really has three, but I'm talking about the primary left and right. Canals, spinal canals, where your cerebral spinal fluid goes through. We knew that this earth was a body. We built certain temples and certain pyramids in certain areas. Once we found out which body parts was which, that's the reason why the certain climates change in certain areas. We're on and in someone's mind and on someone's body.
I'm not sure if you've seen it, but I love movies and shit, but there's a new movie came out called, it's a Disney movie, a cartoon, it's called Raya.
I keep hearing about that.
It's called Raya.
I keep hearing about that.
It's a deep ass movie, bro. But it's deep on people that have that, and I didn't even know it even connected like that. But their whole structure is their whole life, community, everyone lives on the body of a river, which is a dragon. And each area is called an area of the dragon. So there's the talon, which is the feet part, or
the body.
The heart.
The body.
There's the fang, which is the head. There's the tail.
I wonder where they've been learning this type of stuff.
But this is, and the thing is, I wasn't even aware of that, just that structure of it. You know, I was aware of the three pyramids connecting. I didn't know, but that takes shit to a whole
new level.
Right, which is why
which is where we always been at.
Exactly.
A whole new. When we come from a whole new level. And the thing is, we come from that level. So as we get here, there's no need to even level up. We already there. We have to be our level.
And the thing is, and what we've had to go through was everything else. We know what's else bringing us down, purposely.
Yeah.
This is not an accident
Yes.
of what's going on.
No.
This has been happening for a long time.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Mhm.
You got, and my thing is, man, what goes in must come out. What goes out must come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And that's just the balance.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, and we're on that next swing.
And you gotta, like, when you look at those, when you look at the fact that, like we were just talking about the two Niles,
Mm-hmm.
one streams up, one stream down,
Right.
just like your spine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your circulatory system of your heart. One stream up, one stream down. So when we once, and by me saying we, I'm speaking about just any good heart.
Mm-hmm.
When we, the good hearts, was in power, our hearts started getting a little rotten. We went through a time where we had all this knowledge. Like, most people don't even know we was born with it.
Yes.
You see?
Yes. But if you have the knowledge, you realize you're born with it.
You see what I'm saying?
Because it comes like second nature. It feels
It's
like you already
there. Like every
but
creature has it already.
That's why we were talking earlier, and I said that karma was what struck me, because it was something that I knew. You know, don't do wrong. Some bad's gonna happen. Or you know that's just
Even if you don't do wrong,
right. Not
some bad still gonna happen because you're being tested.
Exactly. So it's like, but when you just start to even dive in, you know that you know it already. You are already with part of whatever you're looking for.
Simple.
So also, before we got too much off of the body of it, the third pyramids in Asia. What part of the body is that, and what part of these? Because since one spinal goes up, one goes down. Where does that tie in? Where does the third one?
Alright. Asia, like the Asia side, believe it or not, is more so considered the West. The Asia side and the
I believe because
African
they flipped
side,
everything over.
that's how you know exactly what's what.
Yeah.
Asia side, West. America side, East. And then you have a central side. I wouldn't even say America side necessarily East necessarily. Because if you notice, America has two continents, so to speak.
Yes.
It's not one.
Exactly.
And it has, like, prime example. Right next, I don't believe in a map. Get my drift?
Mm-hmm.
Sacred geometry tells us what the earth is.
Mm-hmm.
But let's use their map,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I said something, it would be used against me. You get what I'm saying? So let's use their map. When you look at Europe, when you look at Africa, you got a big body of water, the ocean, to the left of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no big body of water to the right, is it? It's just Asia.
Right.
It's connected to Asia,
Right.
right? Okay. When you look at Asia,
What even classifies Europe as a continent in the first place? But you can continue.
yeah, the map,
Yeah.
but yeah, the spells or whatever. Now you look at Asia. Got a big body of water to the right of it. No big body of water to the left of it. Why? Because it's supposedly connected to Africa and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then you look at America. It has two continents and has a big body of water to the right, and it has a big body of water to the left. It's one of the only. It's one of the only and the other two continents actually wrap around, because if I go to the, like, let's say we look at the map and we really put it the right way, or we wrap it around the right way. If I go straight to the right, I'm in Africa, Europe. If I go straight to the left, I will be in Australia,
Yeah.
Asia. Them the continents right there.
There's a lot of mystery in Australia too.
You get what I'm saying?
There's too much mystery in Australia.
Word, hey.
Do you think there's probably pyramids on Australia?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We left, man, look. We left traces of stuff to the point where it's literally land beyond what their map is showing us.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Antarctica is not.
Antarctica is nothing but a skull. You get my drift?
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing but a blocking point.
Mm-hmm.
We know for a fact that there's something beyond our skull.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a whole nother world outside of our skull,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. So even just looking at that,
That's just the wall.
that's nothing. Because remember, if we break down a body, like what we just did, right? We got the 3 Niles, not just 2, like most people think. You got the one in Asia also.
Mm-hmm.
You got the 3 Niles. So you got your left canal,
The
right
3
canal.
nervous systems.
Bingo,
One.
connects to the 3
I got
nervous system, which
I-
the water flows through.
I got you. I'm getting you. I'm
Oh,
getting it. I'm
which
getting
the water flows through.
Yep.
And it goes up one, down one, and the other one kind of meets in the middle, and that's where you even see certain waters that might change colors and have a line.
Right in the even in the
right
middle. They have
in the middle. I
Yeah.
wonder what that's about.
Exactly.
I wonder what that's about. They don't want
Right.
to talk about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You look at those canals, then when you get done looking at the canals, you say, okay, I can go to over here, I can go over here, or I can stay right in the center. Period.
Mm-hmm.
When I go over here, all of their pyramids are built like body parts. But I go over here, all of the pyramids are built like what? Body parts. Whether I'm in America, all of the pyramids are built like body parts.
Mm-hmm.
What is it telling us
Everything
about this body?
Yeah.
And like you said, Antarctica, they make it seem like it's a continent.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason why Antarctica, they make it seem like it's at the bottom of the map. Your skull is at the top
Mm-hmm.
of the map.
Yeah.
If this world is a body, then your body is a map.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat what I just said. That's why your brain even looks like a maze.
Yeah.
Your intestines look like a maze.
Yeah.
Your mind itself just looks like a maze. Your life just looks like a maze.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole map drawn out because we all got to figure this out. Like, none of us are really, like I ask people all the time, like if you think this is you or you think this is yours, right? They think that people who get so possessed to things that happen with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this yours. Yeah. You gonna die one day? Yeah. So you got to get this back, right? You got to get some back. How's that yours?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it belong to whoever you got to give it back to?
Right.
So there must be something that is yours that's just a part of something, but that doesn't mean it is what it's a part of. You get what I'm saying? Like, this jacket is a part of this outfit. This jacket is not the outfit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And because of how powerful and what we truly are, even we tend to miss that by looking at what we think we are and get hypnotized to that.
Of course, we live in a state of
Instead
hypnosis.
Of
course.
a real one to the point where, like, once you start looking at it, damn, so that kind of makes sense. In Antarctica, if I flip their little map upside down and start playing with the map just like they played with the map, that's why it don't look like a body no more. It just look like some continents. Con, or whatever. You got the skull up top. You got this little centerpiece. And if you really look at, I'm gonna drop some on you that ain't even posted yet. You know what I'm saying? Certain things I just love to say, special just for occasions. If you really look at the map and what America, the 2 continents look like, and you look at your trapezius or trapezoid muscles on your back.
You're right. You're very much right.
Right in the center.
Shoulder blades.
Right in the center.
And that's why I don't know. I would say where is, oh my, like the Bermuda Triangle, the heart, right, the center, which was probably this.
But remember, the heart got chambers. Remember in Doctor Strange, they had a chamber to what? Asia, America, and it was supposed to be one to
I can't really remember Doctor Strange too much. I did like the movie. I don't think I watched it too many times.
Basically, he can go through a door from New York and open the door
Right,
and end
right,
up
right,
in
right.
Asia.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
There was something we found out from the world to where we didn't have to even cross the waters. We went through these caves. We ended up on a whole other side of the world and same with other people. just by going through caves. There was tunnels, chambers, still exist.
Yeah.
Still exist.
Yeah.
We just too scared or afraid to explore now.
Because we've been taught that way. We've been taught fear.
Yes.
But I mean, but once you inject any fear, it's fear.
Yeah.
You know.
And even on top of that, I will say this, like just so it's not all negative towards it. Since we did, us understanding we, you know what I'm saying, it's not our first time living, so to speak. Since we did live that life, I do know a part of us did go through everything we went through to experience, like all of what we experienced.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like
And
even the just enjoyment of just this new life, so to speak, and just, we don't like the way it's being ran and operated because like I said, you know, once the good hearts that was once in power start going rotten, we start going through our things. That's what made us go into our darkness. We start forgetting certain things, and the knowledge that was placed in us, we gotta understand, we didn't get this shit. Something placed it in us. And if
because we're part of the body, we're part of it.
and if it can place it in you,
yeah.
it can take it away and place it in others because of what you're doing with it. You get what I'm saying? It's not gonna just get rid of it just because you don't want to do right with it. It's gonna give it to somebody else until you understand how to do right with it. You get what I'm saying? That's what really took place. Just as you see two sides to the moon,
Yeah.
it's so much history not being told.
But it's on the dark side of, well, not anymore. Well, we were.
We were, and the secret that a lot of people don't understand is the history that's being hidden is not, oh, back in 14 this happened. Oh, back in 7 this happened. Oh, back in 600. Oh, back in the year.
These are millions. It's
That's already stored in you.
yes, yeah.
What we don't understand that we supposed to release is what happened to us today.
But we got everything
That's what
else.
burdened our heart.
Yeah.
Most people don't give a fuck about what happened to us 1,000 years ago. It's already in us. We already got past a lot of that. Most people don't give a damn about what happened to us a million. Even if you try to tell them, it's not gonna hit them.
A lot of people don't care about what happened 50 years ago.
Thank you. But
They
when you
can't get over what happened yesterday.
that's why you gotta tap into their history. When we start realizing who history and who her story
Everything
really matter.
But that's what's funny because like I said, I'm a movie person, movie buff. So I like with my wife. She's a balance. Like sometimes she don't even like watching white movies, like movies with white people in it. You know, but
They just our left side.
But the thing is, like sometimes I like watching their shit where they're talking about their mystical, magical history, just to know our history. I learn a lot more about myself because I know what everything comes from. You know, I know every time they talk about a fear or a dark presence, that's what they felt ours was because it was so powerful. If you from that point of view, which we were talking about earlier, the narrow point of view that they had to have, you know, it's you live in fear, you know. So more on the left side, because I would like to, if you can, tell me more about them.
Like
Where'd they come from?
You got
Because they weren't here for a long time, right? From what I know.
And this where you gonna get into a lot of spit spats with those who don't understand it might be about spirit. And watch what I say with this. Watch.
I like where you're going.
Watch this. You ever saw the movie Get Out?
Of course.
Where a person can put their spirit in you?
Of course.
So what if there was something that came before something and put its spirit in something, and now it convinces you to think that something put its spirit in you, when really, nah, you have someone else's spirit, so you think, and that being actually don't know what the fuck is being. Talking about some, don't even know what the fuck is going on themselves, and it's kind of like through, because this is how you get connected to a spirit, so to speak. Vision, television. sound, stereotype, feelings and emotions. They tap into that. So we've been built all our life to be enemies to something.
We've been really destroyed all our life. They've been trying to destroy what we have.
But the destruction is building.
Exactly.
Even
of course.
destruction
Even if you knock a building down, you build a mountain.
They're still putting something in
Yeah.
that's coming out.
Yeah.
So what I mean is this, because most people be like, man, you trying to defend this. You don't have to defend what's protected.
But yeah, but this is what I like hearing, because I don't like that a lot of us, they just hold so much hate. We're peaceful people, but it's just
Thank you,
so
and that's
hate.
what stops us from being us, holding that hate. And it's like there's nothing. Look, and there's nothing wrong with feeling how we feel.
Yeah.
With everything that went in us, there's nothing wrong with feeling how we feel. My thing is this: even as a child, if you continue to just cry and cry and cry, if I care about you, you're hurting me now.
Exactly, because what is wrong?
What's wrong?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
If you're my brother, my sister, what is? Because a lot of us are burdened by things that didn't even happen by another complexion.
Of course.
You get my drift?
Yeah.
So I feel like if we focus on what each and every last one of our individual problems is, and help each other with our individual problems,
And honestly, stop looking at them as problems. Looking at it as building blocks,
because
to become the actual person you need to be, because that's all everything is placed in front of us
And look,
to do. If you're walking in a direction,
once you accept soul, this is where and why. And I'm not acting like some of the people that was in control in this generation wasn't of a certain complexion. Don't get it twisted. You get my drift? That shouldn't eliminate the knowledge. That shouldn't eliminate the bond. That shouldn't eliminate the wisdom and the understanding that we once had.
But what we're dealing with is an insecure little brother
and little sister. But it's a spiritual thing, because most people don't get it's been happening from day one. And once you eliminate skin, you can't tell, because this is where it goes. This is where the dangers. I like to talk about the dangers of things because I experienced it myself. It's not even about, like, I can eliminate, let's not even talk about what they call Caucasians for right now, because I'm still finna get on the left side. Let me stay right here real quick though.
It's funny,
right?
like, even as I'm listening to you, I still have my track.
Yeah,
but we're going in the same direction. Go ahead.
Of course.
Go ahead.
We supposed to.
Because I wanted to say, because I don't. This is my understanding. I didn't, and not even on the level that you have it on, because you actually have labels and names and actual.
Yeah, no.
But here's my understanding for what I just think makes sense. If their race came from a place which is, let's say, the Caucasus Mountains or whatever that area, if they're in those conditions that would make their body and complexion what it is, they will be in harsh conditions. And when you're raised in harsh conditions, you live in a survival mode. So when you live in a survival mode, you have a different motive in your everyday life. You're trying not to die. And if that's the case, and that's where you live, you would hope possibly to leave that place.
Now, not even to cut you off.
No, go
just
ahead.
to build with you.
You get what I'm going.
I love where you're going with it. Are you describing a human, or are you describing a spirit?
I mean, since you said that earlier, I realized.
Other creatures do that?
Yeah. Everything.
That's nature.
Everything. That is. But the thing is, we don't look at ourselves as nature.
Bingo.
And that's the problem.
Bingo.
As what it is, because it's something that interests me. I mean, I'm gonna get back to where I was going, but they have a thing where they took these wild foxes in Colorado or somewhere, a bunch of wild foxes. They've been breeding these wild foxes for, let's say, up to like 20, 30 years now. But now they're at the point where these wild foxes went from black, dark gray animals, very slender, had to survive.
Changing, yeah.
These animals look like Pomeranians now. Like they are fluffy. They're a completely different thing just from the breeding that's happened recently. Mm-hmm. And if people look at themselves like that, if you look at that's how the body works, if it happens in nature, it has to happen in us. That means we're a conscious thing that's telling something to do something for survival. And if you look at these things and people, you can kind of read their story. You can read the story. So that's what I gained in just that.
And you're not wrong about like everything you said. Like I'm with you.
Yeah.
I fully like.
But also in turn, from just the basis of what I was speaking, when you go from those harsh conditions and then you go out to the conditions where our people are from, where we're at the level of the globe in which I see we live on, or what we're told we live on, it's a warm climate. It's a great area. When you live in areas like that, you don't live in the same mindset of survival. So you might have time to tap into certain things that certain people can't tap into. But also when you come in seeing people that aren't even at that level of fear of that you're on, you're in conquer mode. So I can't blame their history for doing what they've been bred to do. You know?
Basically.
Like every virus of the body has is to do something. If it's a natural virus, unless it's put in from somewhere else. But still, that virus is still doing something against what that virus is supposed to do, basically. You know, so I got off topic. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying.
I'm vibing with you.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm vibing with you.
Yeah. So
This the thing. It's like this is where the dangers come in. This is where we start causing division amongst ourselves. And we start basing ourselves as a people off complexion or like everything that was just said. It has a whole level to it to where it's like the only thing that's being left out is the soul of it, the spirit of it. Not you. Talking about the average person that feels any type of thing like that, because when you look at a person, if you don't understand something, our natural instinct is going to feel what we feel. And that's the same thing on the other side. You get what I'm saying? When you have no, or because a lot of us don't even recognize the war within that, just like we don't recognize the war within us. You get what I'm saying? So there's people who, prime example, there's people who utilize the complexion talk and the complexion teaching even against me. You ain't one of the first people, nigga, your skin ain't dark enough, you ain't got enough melanin. What does that have to do with my soul?
exactly.
That came before any body came, period.
Right. That's what and it's like I appreciate just the conversation because you're giving me tools. You know?
And that's because certain people you can't even talk with. Certain people they so far gone. Certain people, this is the thing. So you become the very thing you hate.
Yeah. Because I believe my journey and what I really try to do, I try to figure out the ways to deliver to people like reasons not to be in pain or in hate.
Right,
you know,
right.
But the thing is, also what I realize with our people, you have to be very strategic.
You do.
You know, because
You gotta have angles. That's
right.
why all of our stuff had angles. You gotta come at an angle with everybody. You can't just come straight forward to people.
I like that.
Everybody you gotta come at an angle with. Yeah, you gotta find out this angle. Do I need to go down? Do I need to,
right? Because they don't trust you if you come right at them. There's something, and that's
some people you have to lower yourself for.
Yeah.
Some people you have to heighten yourself for. Some people want to see you higher before they'll listen to you. Before they even respect what you're talking about.
Exactly. They want to see you above.
They want to see you high.
Yeah.
Some out of a respect thing, some out of a insecure thing for themselves. I just want to be around this type of person. But some like, nah, I see you better than that. Like, I don't. If I was to care about you and I saw you doing something stupid, then it's like, nah, I'm good, bro. That's not on some old fuck with you. That's actually on some. That's silently saying I love you more than whoever
and
you
all
finna.
the bullshit.
You know what I'm saying?
You realize my anger comes from someone.
So that's
and that's love. That's
love.
That's that. And that's the thing is, and that's why a lot of us are so angry. It's attached to a lot of love.
Understand? Yes,
exactly.
Look, we love. Look,
But
hold up. But look, this is the secret. This is exactly why. When I start building a curriculum, I wanted to know why my complexion was like this. I wanted to know why other people's complexion was like that. I wanted to know what makes us family. I wanted to know what makes us people. I wanted to know all of these type of things that I felt like are important to know in a way. Now, just looking at something as simple as blood. I know some quote unquote black people, right? Who quote unquote hate white people, right? And I know some white people, right? Who quote unquote hate black people, right? But if you were on, let's say, let's take everybody out of their fucked up life, right? Let's take that mind out of people. You get what I'm saying? That's what's bombarding a lot of people. Let's take everybody, let's take all this off real quick. Let's take all this off real quick. Everything in life taken care of for the rest of your goddamn life. Period. You end up on your deathbed though. Right when this happens, you end up on your deathbed, right? You need a blood transfusion, right? This is the thing. Some of your relatives ain't got your same blood type. Because family goes deeper. Blood is thicker than water.
It's connected to soul.
Soul is thicker than blood. You see what I'm saying?
That's why you can have some of the biggest disconnections to some family.
So this is the thing. The same. So what if they say, okay, sir, so you need a blood transfusion in order to live, but the thing is, your donor is a Caucasian. How does this person's blood match yours if y'all not already family? Get what I'm saying? Depending on your life. How does this person blood who has a different flesh, something deeper?
See, I definitely appreciate that. That also even takes me to another level of empathy.
There's blood types.
Because the fact is, because the way I comprehended it is that they must not be of this.
No, they are.
But okay.
Everything came through.
Exactly.
So everything here came through an egg. It ain't one thing here that did not give birth to an egg. It's not one thing that what you think the moon is? What you think the egg? What do you think the sun is? A golden egg.
I mean, but even if you look at the Earth and the Moon, it's still in balance because it's with the.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
What you got between your legs? 2 eggs. What women got right here? 2 eggs. You see what I'm saying?
The balance. Whole shit.
And we all got one big ass egg right up here that hold 2 eggs inside of it called a thalamus.
Yeah.
So their flesh came later down the line, but there was always lighter fleshes that existed. You see what I'm saying? Most people don't get that the hate is not in our flesh, the hate is in our blood. Come through our soul.
It's in the water.
See what I'm saying?
It's like if
it comes through something spiritual.
Something's in the water.
And that's why if you notice our ancestors was more so on to test the spirit than test the flesh.
Yes.
Because you'll get deceived because of the fact that we wear masks.
Yeah.
Our mask is this flesh.
Yeah.
I think I look like this. You get what I'm saying? I used to, but this is how I know I wasn't this. I used to think I was nice as a You know what I'm saying? I sit around thinking I'm a good person. And you get around people and they think you're a robber. You're wondering what they see. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, you just give people a bad,
But what did I do? You get what? I'm not looking at this. You know, growing up, I don't see this as much as others. I'm not looking in the mirror.
You have the guilt, so you're showing it.
You see what I'm saying? But I know I didn't do nothing, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm this dude that sit down and watch cartoons. I don't bother nobody. I don't want no harm from nobody. I can't help how my body look. You get what I'm saying? So now I end up having to actually defend myself, and I actually end up getting through a point in time in life, bullied because people thought I was finna try to do something. This stuff still happened through social media. When I start getting followers, and somebody might do something behind screens, they'll think I'm going to take it out. So now they got to make this story up and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what you see me as?
Exactly.
Like, what do
you think I'm trying to
what are you,
do
right? What are you looking at? What
Yeah.
are you, I'm not seeing what you're seeing. I'm not seeing, I know you probably look at this and, oh, you'll do this. Oh, I can tell you. No, you can't tell what I do.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I mean, when you were describing what the energy you were getting back from the shit you're doing, it was like, it didn't even register that it could have been taken that way.
That can cause mental damage to a child.
Yeah.
I was strong enough to take it.
Yeah.
That can cause mental damage to a child to where it's like, I've had ex-homeboys. I'm talking about people that's so-called killers. You get what I'm saying? No disrespect. And then what I mean by so-called, I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. Yeah,
exactly
you get what I'm saying?
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
So everything good with us. Living together, staying together, letting them stay as brothers. You ain't got to pay rent, none of that whenever you can, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
Just make it work.
Yeah. I get into a situation one time, I'm learning how messed up the minds was just through real life experiences. This is somebody I looked at dearly, grew up with. You get what I'm saying? From a high school standpoint and further on. We was about to move to another place. I ended up talking to a female. You get what I'm saying? We ended up getting serious very quick. So instead of me and old boy, as homeboys, moving as roommates and I told him 2 months in advance before our lease was even up, hey, instead of us even getting another one and doing this all over again, you get what I'm saying?
The path's gonna change.
Yeah, I'm finna I'm finna.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I start hearing, oh yeah, I don't F with him no more. You know what I'm saying? This nigga Bro, I'm thinking we cool. What are you?
Yeah. I mean,
what happened?
The thing is,
What
it's not
happened?
you. It's not you at all.
What happened?
It's not you.
That's what I'm hearing lies about. So and so did this. So and so you and I'm just.
But the fact was, and the reason is, we're so us, the shit we've been through. We're so guarded and we're so confused that he was just so hurt. He felt like he had to hurt you because of the hurt that he felt that he got from you.
And one thing we gotta stop doing is hurting each other if we're supposed to be fighting a war.
Right.
If we suppose that's how you know. It's kind of like if we can get out our own way, because I'm not acting like, and this is what I mean by this. I've had problems with every single race that there is down here that I've came across, but I've also had good bonds with every single race that there is down here. So I can't be one-sided with it, and I gotta be. You see what I'm saying?
Because also in the same sense, like we have to also, I know it's difficult. We have to also stop even looking at ourselves as at war.
And we gotta govern ourselves. Like that's when if I'm looking at you as my brother, I let you stay at my house rent free. I let you around my woman.
I obviously don't want to hurt you.
I tell you my plans.
Yeah.
There should be no excuse why you feel any type of way with me moving out and leaving you the house for the last 2 months of the lease and giving you time to get your shit together. It ain't like you didn't have a job. It ain't like none of that. I just said I'm not trying to. The plans that we had made before I end up talking to somebody. Just because that changed. That's not what the problem was. The problem was deeper than that.
But also he visually saw himself falling in the ladder of your life.
Let's talk.
You know? But we
talk.
can't. They can't. I mean, but you know that.
And that right there is exactly what made me start digging deeper to the point where it's like I start just respecting those who respect me, loving those who love me, because I can give 10, 20, 15 years of my service, loyalty, however you want to look at it, to somebody. And your mind can still go there, yet I can walk in front of a complete stranger and then give me their ear and listen to me and talk to me, that's a difference of the soul, man. It's a difference of the heart that ain't got shit to do with flesh. And on top of that, like I said, it's actually knowledge to our flesh. It's actually all of us are going to be every complexion that you can think of one day, because the Creator wants us to experience.
But that's why we've had these lives. We have.
Thank you.
We've had lives.
All of us, and we just gonna continue to do these things and shift these things.
Because you have to have perspective. You have to have perspective, and that's all the universe, anything is trying to tell you is to try to see what's going on right now, and it'll give you different ways to slap you into place. That's it.
And like I said, it's not a lot of discipline around. It's not a lot of people who really care to solve or settle. It's kind of like this. Imagine a court date that just keep dragging, dragging. But you got the information to settle the case right now. That's where I'm at with the deal. See what I'm saying? People
and it's frustration.
You see what I'm saying?
And also, like, the same moment I told you that St. Louis was a great place where I found myself, like, it was also one of the darkest times of probably my life.
Dark ass place,
like,
and a beautiful it's a swirl.
Because I was in that same feel of like, what can I do with this knowing that can affect what's around me to just the point where they're okay, where it's just where it's at peace.
Right.
You know, like, just not to change them, not to change minds, not to do shit, just to give peace. You know, and it's so much frustration when you're thinking, not even in a real actual way, but just figuratively, you're thinking in a language you can't speak. That's how it feels.
That's exactly what it is. We all got a language of our own.
Yeah.
And we use these languages to interpret them. That's all it is. And that's the main reason of why I learned that some of the greatest healing, like, I like to give people what happened to me. My greatest healing wasn't going and harming people like I thought it would be. When I started learning what we was, and I started understanding the two sides of the body, and I started understanding, damn, so if it's light and dark with space, light and dark with the moon, to think that light and dark has not always existed is to think that only one side of the moon has only existed. And the other side came alive, just, I guess.
Like to think that the dark side isn't there.
When it was there, what if it was there the whole time, and us understanding? Because remember, we all got poisoned by a false history that was conglomerated. It was agreed upon.
Exactly. It wasn't on accident. It's on purpose. There's a reason why there's fluoride in our water. There's a reason why there's aluminum in our deodorant, and there's a reason why there's small little things that you can still use these things just without it. Why is it there? Why was it necessary? You know?
Layers upon layers, man. It's put it like this. Nobody hates somebody for no reason.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's usually the basis. When I be like, you know, when you're just trying to talk to people and get them to understand something, I just be like, you know, like, if you just look at it, you know the hate has to come from how powerful the fear of the power. The hate has to.
But look,
it's just big.
And like, what did we do? Look. And I love that you said that. I love that you said that, because this the thing. If we want to look at ourselves in a weak state of mind right now, I just feel like we're just making bad decisions. But I don't feel like we're not empowered, because we doing what we want.
It's always.
You see
We're
what I'm
always. The same reason why we're still the main culture. We're no matter what we're doing, even if we're doing the wrong shit, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're also, so I definitely want to talk about this before, because I just have to, because What's your view on Atlantis?
It's just another. They got maps on top of maps on top of.
I mean, but the people of Atlantis, because my view is,
It's us.
I believe exactly.
It's just another. It's just
the
another
people
word.
from.
And now you see
which
why
is what
I
I'm
say-
seeing.
now
is,
you see why
which is what
Muhammad
I'm
is-
seeing
now
is
you
now.
see
It's
why-
like Rihanna is the people of the heart, is the people of the body.
That's
It's-
why now you
that's-
see why I
that's-
just say Muhammad, because it all of them different layers and levels, and it's so much that even they won't mention because it's in a place where it's supposed to be, man, sacred.
Yeah. And but also everything, even that even starts to tie into it, has already been made like it's
It's
negative.
already been done.
But even if you start tapping into any of the knowledge, if you start to show any type of love for the knowledge,
You ain't resisting.
it's everything has been very strategically done. You know, like
you don't hear resistance.
I'm
But look, this is my thing too. Because some of us don't always do right with our power. And I know that if my people so called respect, if we are people, I listen to my people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's something that comes with being a people. I listen to my people. I respect my people. I diss my people.
that's
I
what love
people.
is. Love is regardless of
Which
how
comes through
aggressive or how you're
soul,
coming. I hear
spirit.
you.
Right.
I hear you.
So most of the people, if I try to talk to them and reach out to them, I feel like if they'll listen to me, boom. It's that simple. If they don't, boom.
See me, I kind of let it come in.
Yeah.
As, like
Let
me,
it be natural.
in all honesty, me reaching out to you was a stretch of my natural
I
nature.
and I know what you mean.
You know, because
I know, like I said, dog, it was all aligned. Like you said, you could tell it was very spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell it was, as they say, out the blue for both. To the point where it was like, hey, but those usually some of the best things.
Yeah, like let's make it happen.
Those usually when it's just neither one is planning it, neither one is, that's when you know something else involved.
Yeah, for sure.
That's usually when you know something else involved, and that's why I say, now when dealing with Atlantis, when dealing with what they call white people, black people, any of that, I always just try to take it back to the first ever people ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because what I like to, because I think also we have the people of the body. That's what I'm gonna start calling it. Because I just changed my mind.
However you express it, that's what I'm saying. However you, I can't tell you how to express yourself.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't tell you, and just because you're saying this doesn't mean you're not seeing the same thing I'm seeing.
We see the exact same thing, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
Like,
that's why
we all can vibrate different colors, but that don't mean we can stay on the
it's
same.
supposed to be. Thank you. We all can still be on the same.
We're all
side.
on the same chart.
I love the different colors. If everything was the same, the shit would be bland to me.
Exactly. We're supposed to live in unison of everything. But what was I just about to say? But yeah, with the people of the body, we also, I know we have a deep connection with the people of the head, which is from what I figured out when I flipped everything over and came back, of Asia. I believe there's, and Australia. I don't know what's going on.
I wouldn't say.
What is like? I'm telling you, Australia. What is the mystery of Australia? You know, like what is? Why? I mean, like I recently, I think I looked it up yesterday. Australia was just conquered 1784, something like that. Around not too long in between what a lot of the changes and stuff was going on here. But we're in the dark with a lot of that shit. Like what?
It's simple. Once you get done abusing one, you gotta go to the next. That's all it is.
But if you look at all mainstream animation, cartoons, anything, there's always been somebody trying to take over the world. And their view of taking over the world is exactly from what they've done. They've gone to each place and planted a flag and said, "This is mine, not yours."
Boom.
That's what has happened everywhere.
That's all it is. That's one of the least, even though it's still under control in a way, it's one of the least dominated. You know what I'm saying? Or one of the least,
It's insecurity.
one of the least exploited.
Mm-hmm.
So, If it's like a vulture. Once I'm done with this body, I'm not finna sit there.
But as you can see, Aboriginals everywhere look the same. I haven't seen many pale-faced Aboriginals.
And you not, and that's
so that's why I be having like, where'd they come from type of thing, you know. And I believe what could be possible is they came from people from under, or the cave,
they did. Look, this is the thing. I love that you said that. Aboriginal. So original just means the original, right? Like, so there was the lines that came first. And then as you kept going down the line and digging deeper, which is going through time, this is just nature itself opening itself up. So of course it started a certain way, but it started to open up even more. And it started to dig deeper because if I bust your head, it goes down to the wet meat.
The white meat.
So that was already in you.
Yeah.
From day one.
But it could have been.
Even if you was dark, even if you was the darkest of the darkest, the white meat was already at the tip of your surface. Just as what you think is at the tip of what you call white person's surface. The black meat, dark meat, the brown meat, whatever. However, it's a simple reversal of nature. That's all they are. That's why I say they're our left side. And if they was to be speaking about us, they could say we're their left side. I wouldn't force them to say, I wouldn't force them to say, our right side, because most people will take words too extreme.
Too little.
You get what I'm saying?
But
yeah, certain ones have that type of.
Because also when you're in that low vibrational mind,
bingo. That's all insecurity. That's
better
all,
than the other.
Bingo. That's all insecurity. That's all division versus just realizing I'm just saying left to right. I don't give a damn about it.
Because just like how you say they flipped everything, everything is looked at now top to bottom instead of left and right. Like saying, oh, this is equal, left and right. Top and bottom already gives a whole. It gives a story behind it. Top and bottom, it already gives that.
And I want to give the power to whom the power is due. At this very moment, I love that you say that. They flipped everything, right? They flipped everything, right? Let's find out who that they is. Everything about the body, right? When we look at our visual pathways and our optic lenses, right? When it goes into your eyes, it's automatically flipped. Did a white man or black man flip that? Or did God flip it? Or omniverse, universe, or whatever you call it?
Well, I mean, but also because it was shifted. The shift. It wasn't they.
People what I'm saying.
But the natural energies of.
Listen to what I'm saying.
What?
Everything is naturally, automatically flipped. Just because it's already two sides to everything.
Yeah.
So if it's already two sides to everything.
So in my view, it's already flipped anyway.
You've already been flipped, and we're blaming them. We should have never even been a part of their cult.
And exactly, when all they did was
they doing them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing them.
Yeah.
And because we didn't want to do us, we trying to make them. I'm not acting like things didn't happen in the past. Don't ever. This is never to discredit. This is never. But this is speaking from even an ancestral place from within myself.
Yeah.
Of. It's kind of like if I got through a real bad situation, and it's 30 years down the line, last thing I want to talk about is when I see somebody. That situation.
Exactly.
Especially when I got so far past it.
Right.
So it's just coming from a place where it's like, and not with you or nobody like that. It's people I be trying to speak for more so to people to where that conversation get dangerous. That conversation end up deadly. They don't end up just having a talk in a good heart to heart and bonding, building, learning from each other, actually making a bond with each other to the point where the bond that we make is going to be capable of helping others bond to something else within themselves or whatever. Because remember, you can't be all of you, and you can't be for you if you don't learn all of you. And that's why they wanted.
And also, when in learning each other, we can learn ourselves.
And that's why I say, if we get a power back to whom credit is given or whom credit is due, and realize who flipped what, the Creator automatically flip your vision for everything. So for people to think that they did anything, whereas let's say that's just a part of something that certain people choose to be a part of, because they even got people that don't want to be a part of that look like them. Just like we got people that supposedly don't want to be a part. So, all right, there's something going on. All right, it's something deeper. And it's like, okay, so why we keep trying to get in there to where...
But it's that yin and yang. Even if you
because what if one side is taught to lie, and what if one side is taught to tell the truth, and they never even had...
And they don't even know that what they're doing is in the opposite. Because it's not the opposite. That's
what if they do know? Yeah. What if that's the nature?
Yeah.
Of
just
the
like
being?
Just like I was saying, they know they're coming from those environments. So, that's the nature that's built.
And when I say that, that's from anybody who in that, because remember, soul existed before flesh. So what's in this flesh gets taken over by soul and trumped any day. And that's what be happening to where we could be in a party, be cool one moment, and the same person just flipped because there's something that existed long before any of this. So even if we think we're dealing with something that came after us, it's something that comes with us. Even if we think it, for us to think something came before.
Because it's all natural.
And we're basing it off flesh versus spirit, and dark and light.
Right, and what I'm thinking is, like, even if you look at how just people react in situations, if all these lights was out or whatever, you probably talk in a lower tone.
You see what I'm saying?
You probably, what was comfortable.
You adapted.
What was comfortable, it would just automatically change. So if I
adapted.
lived my whole life in that space, and then I came to another space, my practices would seem completely insane to you. If I was always tiptoeing and
come on, man.
If I was it would feel weird. But if you walked into my space and you just automatically converted just like humans do, like, oh, okay, and you already in that space, it wouldn't feel crazy. Because just like how you said, there's some people that they're in our wavelength. They didn't have to come with us.
Naturally.
They just naturally. They just came in and it was like, the lights cut off. Let me start whispering.
Right.
You know,
it's a respect.
It's just a respect. It's just respect of your surroundings.
That's all it is.
You know, and just like with us, where we have some that they switch the shit up and they're like, oh, I'll conform. It's cool. I get what y'all doing. We wildin'. You know, that's just them saying.
That's why
the lights are on. I can talk louder. You know, it's.
And that's why I looked at both routes that I can go, and I realized I could have hated, I could have just that, I could have, man, I said I want to learn, I want to see what's going on, I want to know, and also understanding that we are responsible for our actions. So
also it comes with respect and love for self, because half the time if you have respect and love for yourself, you wouldn't do a lot of stuff. Because you just be like...
And we don't understand people dealing with insecurities.
And that's
it. A lot of people
because they just don't have that same respect and love for themselves. Because everything that's put into us, media, culture, everything has been in that all bizarro world where it's not built to be expressive and actually evolve.
Not at all. That's that darkness.
Yeah.
That's that darkness, and that's how you know slavery has existed from day one. From the day that freedom existed, so did slavery, because that's a polarity, that's a duality.
No matter if it's physical or mental.
Don't matter.
It's in existence as we speak.
Yeah, see, most people like to go off just when they documented a group of people going in slavery. What about the little kid that got enslaved? But there's so many of us that are enslaved. As we speak, there's probably more enslaved than free people as it is. It's a lot of us free.
Yeah, I think is beautiful, because I believe we're living in a beautiful, opportunity. Time where
it is a time to come out that darkness, man.
And when also it's like the light is getting popular, where it's like even the fish that live at the bottom of the ocean, like, let me just swim up to the top a little while.
Let me see what y'all got going on.
Yeah. But I wonder if there's anything else I won't tap into. You know,
like I said, it's so
because what I admire and what I enjoy is just your detailed connection where you
Right,
can take
and-
this and that. Because I believe I've had these same thoughts, but haven't verbalized.
Because we communicate internally.
Exactly, yeah.
It's
But
the
also
same thing.
that's why as soon as I was in any type of no of myself, I saw those who was in no. Like
It starts
you look
coming
back,
in vision.
you look back, you be
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
get
that's
what you're
what
saying.
that's what Lauren
That's
Hill
what
was
you-
talking
yeah,
about.
I get what you're saying.
That's what Lauren Hill. That's
You start
that's
seeing,
what Bob
look,
was
and you
doing.
didn't have to connect no dots. They just start connecting
start
on their own.
yeah.
It just start, once you get into a moment, it's just like, you
Yeah.
feel something in your chambers open.
But it's like the Matrix. You just
Yes.
popped out of
Yes.
that tub,
Yes.
and it's hard to know you're
That's
in there
all it is.
until you're out of it.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Man. And that's why, like, anything that even is not clear or that we didn't go deep in, even now, that's because I plan on building with you more times. And on top of that, like I said, a lot of things are explained through the curriculum because it's going to take that more than just, because of what happened and because of how long it has happened, it's hard to break it down into.
But also, we're speaking a language that
It's
it
not-
wasn't taught on this side of the light. You know it's hard to teach. It's hard to, and also we've been living in that dark for so long.
Man, yes.
And it's all about us communicating.
That's
Because
all
I've
it
figured
is.
out different ways I can communicate with different people, just from little things. You know,
Because each person different.
Yeah, yeah.
If you gotta look at it like this. I know we all like. I know it seemed like we look alike, but like I said, just like birds, and you got different birds and different in one species.
They look
but it's
alike
different.
because you want them to look alike. I haven't taken the time to know some
And the
difference.
same with people. So
Exactly.
you can't come up to an alligator and approach the alligator with the same energy or spirit or attitude as you do a duck.
Yeah.
And you can't approach a duck like you approach a spider. You
Right.
can't approach a spider like you approach a bird. You can't approach a
But
bird
it's
like
not.
you approach
That's
a
not
bee.
wrong. You
No,
can't
no,
bl-
no.
I know. I'm saying.
No,
but I'm saying. But in that same thing, people will blame those.
Yeah,
things just
exactly,
for that,
because they want to
Because
be
I
this
can't-
one
because-
thing,
yeah,
and instead
I
of
can't
learning
do
how
this
to
the same way I do
adjust,
it as that.
and
Yeah.
you have to learn to adjust.
But
to
adjustment
your-
comes because with adjustment you need patience.
Yep.
With impatience.
And understanding, you need to,
Yes, you need.
you need vision. You need to be able to see what's going
Yeah,
on.
and a lot of time, and in our whole day and age, what's pushed to us is the opposite of
Basically,
patience. You know,
basically,
it's
basically.
you know
Rushing. Everybody in a
Yeah.
rush.
As soon as you say, "Oh, instead of cooking food, let's put it in the microwave." As soon as that idea is like, it has to be faster. This has to be this. The mind's changed with it. Everything's connected.
You know that's how they got people reality to disappear. If you speed something up to go so fast,
Yeah.
it's out the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why so many people live so fast they don't even see their life.
And that's what I really try to emphasize with so many people. Like, stop acting like this is some YOLO, live fast, die young type of
that's
thing.
a bad mindset.
When could ask my wife, I'll be like, nah, I'm probably end up 300 or something years old. Like, or
Man.
like, you know, I'm gonna be here a long time. You know.
We're gonna be here forever. Just a matter of
Yeah.
shifting in and shifting out,
Yeah.
turning in and turning out. That's all.
But I'm
it
like,
is.
I mean, I'm just appreciative of the journey because even just this whole journey, it's taken me, you know, to so much shit.
It carries you, man.
Talking to so many people. Like, I was just in Tulum, you know, like
I ain't never been there, but they sound
that's but also that's the area of the Mayans, the Olmecs,
that's
all
why.
that.
Okay,
all,
okay.
Also the
I've been there, just not what they. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay, I've been
But
there.
also the fucking, which I think is a crazy, the circle that the Caribbean makes
Mhm.
of the whole thing, which is the circle, the heart, which is around.
Hold up. They call it the what? Caribbean, right?
Mm-hmm.
That word got a beam at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
A beam. Your pineal gland look like a beam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Caribbean. Carib. Beam. Rib. You got rib. Beam. Damn. I ain't gonna, you know.
Yeah.
I just threw something out there. That's all.
But that makes sense.
That's
I mean,
all.
but that's, and it's like,
So,
I remember I was on acid one day with my little brother, and some whole other shit ended up happening. But me and him had a very deep conversation, and on that, I was telling him like how things simplified to just 1 and 0, and that's the balance of things. Even,
So-
but that's just the basic way of thinking of it. It's just the balance of there's zero, and then there's the one and shit. But when I was there, everything was connecting in the same way. You poetically connect words with other words, and you put it in there. But it's like it's crazy. It's insane how much things just tie into
It's
each other.
already there.
You know, when the knowledge is there,
Yeah.
and when as much as you,
That's like you have to
try to be
create this
hidden,
shit.
and it wasn't purposely. Like it's not like because in actuality,
You can tell no
what
man
was
sit
done,
down and say, I'm going 0 plus this, or I'm going to put
what was done was the strategic and well done, but everything that's the undoing of that is in that exact same. I'm impressed with that exact. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's not crazy.
No,
you
I know
know?
what you mean.
You know.
I take crazy in a good way.
But I appreciate your time.
Man,
Let's
thank
wrap
you.
it up. Let's see how long it was. It was about looking like an hour. I
Yeah.
hope y'all enjoyed.
Flew by,
If you want to just talk about anything, comment or reach out. If they can reach out to you, you can give them your info.
Look up, if y'all ever interested, look up Mental Magic Omniverse on Instagram. Look up Mental Magic Omniverse on Facebook. Look up Mental Magic Omniverse on YouTube. It's Mental Magic Omniverse, OMNI verse, just for those who didn't know how to spell it. Yeah, you know, or just look up Frank Burrell on Facebook, man. Just look up Frank Burrell on Facebook to keep it simple. Like I said, man, I thank y'all for your time. I thank y'all for tuning in and
Thank you
vibing
for
with
your
us.
time,
Like I said,
man.
this is our first time
Yeah, this is our first time
in the
meeting,
flesh, as they say.
yes.
But like I said, man,
But we've been mentally.
that's
There's
all it
been
is, Jesus.
mental transactions
Yeah,
for
it just
probably
being
a long
us.
time.
Like I said, so it's
Yeah.
fourth interview, man. And like I said,
Yeah.
I truly do thank you. First time with you.
Definitely. I
Won't be the
appreciate you,
last,
sir.
man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's it.
Man.